Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's your brother Romaani again from itasiyah.com. Please check the descriptions, our links, and support the program, inshaAllah. Barakallah feekum. Today's question is, how to talk to family about marriage? It is a very great question because I would say, based on my experience as a counselor, marriage is one of the main ways of healing from porn addiction. Now, people might say, oh, well, wait a second. You mean like I can get married even if I'm porn addict? It is part of the recovery. My brother, my sister, don't you think that human beings were created with the need to have intimacy? Why do you think you go for a PMO? Because you need intimacy. Now, no fapping is just a temporary solution. It is a band-aid solution. It's not going to work because you have this innate need to be intimate. And the only way you can be intimate in Islam is through marriage. So yes, indeed, marriage is probably, I always say, focus a lot of your resources on time, not only on recovery and going through all these programs and reading and so on, fasting, and it's good. We have to, very important. But in parallel, you have to focus resources on marriage because marriage is going to give you what you need in the end. Oh, even if I'm an addict and this and that. Yes, because you're going to go through it. You're going to receive what you need. And inshallah, with the taqwa and with the program and with the detox, all this together, not just, okay, I get married and that's it, it solves the problems. All together, then inshallah, you will recover bi'idhnillahi ta'ala with the blessings of Allah. So how do I talk to people and to my family about marriage? Each culture has certain taboos when it comes to marriage. People don't think properly anymore. They think you don't have desire. They think, and which is weird because if you look at the history of mankind, if you look at what we find in the articles and what we read, I mean, it's not like desire just came about in the 21st century. Just the story of Adam and Eve, we can find here the psychology of sin. Something that is taboo, something that is not allowed, very attractive. Shaitan whispers, boom, you fall, right? So it's not like sin, it's not like desire was not something, or is something foreign to your family or to your father and mother. Like they never had desire, with all due respect. But some people behave like, oh my God, it's okay. I've even had clients come to me and say that if they even dare to say, hey, I want to get married, they'll say only bad women want this, especially with girls. If girls have any kind of indication of a desire, it's something totally bad. It's totally taboo. Like girls have no desire. And actually, in many cases, girls have more desire than men, especially around their ovulation time. And that is something established. But again, everyone wants to be super pious, super humble. وَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. Don't make yourself pure. Allah knows exactly who is the most pure. So talk. Yes, you should talk. You should tell your family, look, I want to get married. I want to get married. Why? Because you want intimacy, because you're a bad person, because this. No, I want to get married. This is the objective of Islam. I want to fear Allah. I want to establish my family. Lay out the objectives. This is part of Islam. Argue with Islam. Don't argue with your own rationale. Don't let them just think things, because there is that double standard. They got married when they're young. Now they're telling you, no, you cannot. You have to have a car. You have to have an apartment. You have to have a job. You have to have this salary. You have. And by the time people are 30 and trying to get married, finally, first of all, it's very difficult to find someone to get married. They come to us, please find me someone good. Well, by 30, who's going to be good? They're already corrupt. Most people by 30, I'm not saying all, but according to statistics, most people have watched pornography, have masturbated. Which does what? Well, it changes your sexuality and the way you look at intimacy. It corrupts your mind. You're going to have a heightened awareness of sex, hypersexualized. And it will affect your marriage, no doubt about it. Illa ma rahima rabbi, of course, except who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects. But in reality, most people will be damaged by the age of 30, men and women, especially in today's society. Even if you're not watching porn, someone's like, I don't watch porn. TikTok, man, is porn enough for you. Instagram can be porn enough for you. They need to understand how important this is. And you need to make them know. Use ulama from your community, elders, anyone that you can reach to and get some reason into them, and they can say, I agree with you. To talk. We need to preach about it. We need to talk about it in the minbar. We need to talk about it in schools. We need to talk about it in our communities that this is important. If enough people talk about it, it becomes a culture. People start being aware. How do you think the enemies of Islam are able to penetrate us? Through this. They talk about it, they promote it, they keep rubbing in our faces. That's all of a sudden people start agreeing with them. We use the same technique, reverse it. We talk about marriage, the importance of it, the dangers of not getting married. And hopefully within some time, if enough imams and influential people talk about it, people are going to start realizing how important it is. And to make it just simple, look, sometimes you just got to man up and just talk about it. Just go straight up and say it. Put aside cultural, flags and culture taboos. Just talk and say, I need to get married. I will get married. You have to help me to get married. Say whatever you want about me, but in the end, I need to get married because I need halal intimacy. Yes. What's wrong with that? The Prophet got married. The Prophet said, Ya masharu shabab. He said, yo, young man, tazawwaju man istata' minkum. Whoever can from you, get married. A lot of people, that's the thing, a lot of people can get married and their families can help them. Yet they don't want to, out of stubbornness, that they have to prove something. They have to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before you get married. But by then you might be losing yourself in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to save appearances as a family? And it happens in more cultures than others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.